What do you do when you don't know what to do? So sometimes I see this in my own companies. Someone would take on a task or a project and they don't know what to do. Like they've never done this before, or this is not their strength. They don't have the skill set to do it. And I see that they just get stuck, and they would look at that problem, and for day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, it just makes no progress, right? I see this again and again and again. And while the answer to this question is actually quite simple, here I'm going to teach you 3 tips on how to move your project forward by not getting stuck with something that you don't know how to do. When you run into a problem that you don't know how to solve, you don't know what to do. First, number 1, use Google, right? We live in a fantastic age. Everything, anything you want to know about, it's on the internet. You go to www.google.com, type in your problem, really literally type in your problem. How do I do this? How do I do that? And guess what? There are millions of people on the planet that have the same problems as you. And they have found solutions and they put it on the internet for you to look at. So use that resource. Google your problem, look at page 1 links, look at page 2 links, look at page 3 links. Inevitably, you will find suggestions, recommendations onto how to solve your problem, and some of them might even work. Number 2, use people that have already solved the problem. So you should not, I'll start with what you should not do, which is go to people that have never solved your problem, right? So if you don't know how to paint a motorbike and you go talk to somebody who has never painted a motorbike, ask them how to do it, they're going to be equally as clueless as you, right? They won't know how to do it. So when you have a problem, you want to find somebody that has already solved the problem. They will be able to help you. Well, Tom, how do you find these people? Well, they're everywhere, right? You can find them on LinkedIn. You can find them in forums. You can find them in your own company. Look at your peers. Look at your manager. Speaking of managers, right? I see a lot of it is ego, right? So people don't want to ask questions, whether to their manager or to their colleagues, because, I don't know, maybe it makes them lose face that people may think they don't know how to do it. But, there's no shame in that. There's no shame in asking people how to solve a problem to get their advice. So if you have a problem, go to your manager and say, hey, I am stuck on this problem. Can we work on this together, right? I'm sure, well, most cases, the manager will be eager to help because it's also affecting their ability to perform. Find people that can help solve your problem. Go to LinkedIn, look at people, in the same industry as you, and ask them that question. I still do it. I go to LinkedIn, and sometimes I find people in similar industries. First I introduce myself. My name is Blair from Blair, and then like to get to know more about you. I think you run a great business, and I have this problem. And have you encountered this before? And more than often, they're willing to help you because, they feel respected. They feel like somebody just considers them an expert, right? So they feel very appreciated. And in most cases, they will want to help you. Number 3. So if you're stuck on a problem, the third suggestion that I can give you is work around the problem. Sometimes the problem you're trying to solve is not actually that important. I'll give you an example, right? Maybe you're having problem with access. Let's say there's some IT problem. You cannot access certain database or resources or files in the company. You're stuck. But instead of trying to solve the IT problem, maybe another alternative is to find a non-IT solution, maybe find other people who have access, find other ways of accessing this information without going through network or systems, right? So there are many ways to get your information. There's not necessarily just one way to do it. And instead of solving a very specific problem, why not work around the problem? Sometimes, if you're stuck on a problem, instead of like spending days and weeks thinking about problem, not making progress, maybe move forward to the next problem, to the next task in the project, right? So you move away your mind from that problem and focus on something else. First, you're not wasting time because you're not making any progress with that problem. And second, you move to a different problem and you use your brain to think about the next problem. And oftentimes, when you think about the next problem, the solution for the original problem will come to you. So when it's very interesting with human mind that when you're not looking, the solution comes. When you look really, really hard, when you focus really hard sometimes, not always, sometimes, you get lost in that train of thought. So 3 strategies. 1, always use Google to find the solution to your problem. Number 2 is to ask an expert. Not your friend, not your family member, not your coworker who doesn't know shit. Ask somebody who has already solved the problem to help you. So number 3, work around the problem. Because the problem you're trying to solve may not be the most important problem. So try to work around it. So instead of trying to fix an IT problem, for example, when the issue is really just access to information. So find another way to find access to information without solving the IT problem. Work around it. So that may actually prevent you or eliminate the need to solve that problem. 3 strategies. Don't be a fucktard. Take fucking action.